Hello everyone, I'm Santiago and today I'm gonna be testing Judgement and Lost Judgment, so the Judgement franchise. Now it feels weird to say that word. On the Steam Deck, both games are verified, and if you ever played one of the Yakuza games, you probably know what to expect. It's the Dragon engine, their latest one, and this used to be a PlayStation exclusive, kinda. But now it's on PC and Xbox as well, so let's get into it right away. For Judgement, the first one, 800p, basically like this. You can extend the FOV if you want to. On details, we're playing on low, but I'll explain you why in a second. Volumetric fog, SSAO, depth of field on as well. And there is FSR 2.1, FSR 1 and XeSS. XeSS requires at least 1080p for it to be able to work. So we're going to use quality FSR 2.1, looks pretty good. We have a sharpness slider. Alright, so first of all, in the city, this is when I drop frames the most, obviously, because there is some NPCs walking around and the game is loading stuff in the background, but even at low settings, as you can see, there's still a good amount of shadows with a good resolution. And the draw distance is okay when it comes to the city itself, but as you can see there are some drops below 60. Again, we're targeting 60 right now. But if you're not playing on low, the game drops even harder into the 40s when you're running around. It takes longer, way longer to recover the frame rate. So that's my advice, that you keep it on low if you're targeting 60, but if you want slightly better draw distance, you can target 40s. So as you can see there, it seems to be something just loading in the background when we're running around the city. It appears to be inevitable, basically. I'm guessing it's more of a CPU thing, because lowering the geometry quality helped quite a bit. Let's see if I can break glass. Yes, I can. Just in Yakuza 6. So while you can get 60s, you're still going to get stutters, especially when loading new areas. We're very close to the GPU limit, but the CPU also increases the usage when you're running around. And this is one of the reasons why I kept that field on. In the cutscenes is really good. I didn't see much of it in the gameplay, so in my opinion it's worth enabling. Again, the performance hit is in the cutscenes. So just for the cinematics themselves, I think it makes a huge difference. Alright, so with a 40 FPS cap, we can actually get more battery out of it because, again, 20 frames less, the GPU and CPU have to do less work. And let's see if this improves the stuttering situation. There's still some stuttering. Not unplayable by any means, but if you want more battery, this is the way to do it. Yeah, I can see the CPU being almost fully utilized when I'm running around, but then it just like lowers the usage very quickly. But you're looking at a lot more battery life when playing at 40 FPS. And it's way smoother than 30, without a doubt. Do you miss much by lowering for low shadows instead of medium? No, not really. Performance isn't that much better with... well, isn't that much worse with medium shadows. But if you do so, you'll have slightly better shadow resolution. So you're probably not going to notice much of a difference. And instead of 1 hour and 30 minutes, we had 2 hours of battery. So that's a nice improvement, if I say so myself. And the game still looks pretty good. And it seems that the stuttering is way less of an issue. It doesn't happen each and every time you go like 2 blocks ahead. So that's good news for this game, at least in my opinion. An extra 30 minutes of battery and less stuttering. What else do you need? Lost Judgement is also verified, but this one is more demanding when it comes to GPU. Like before, everything on low, but this time balanced FSR 2.1. I think it's a little bit too much upscaling in my opinion, so this is to target 60 FPS, but you're not going to stay there for long. Balanced FSR should allow us to get there more easily, but it's not perfect, and it looks a little bit too soft. In the smaller screen, you can kind of get away with it. But I think at least quality FSR is the way to go, in my opinion, for this and the first game. And as you can see, as I move around, I drop frames, so it's not 100% perfect. There's more NPCs on the street than on the previous game. And there's more detail. At least when it comes to the models, they seem more detailed, especially the character models. It's not like they're for realistic or anything, but I do notice a difference. And just like in the previous game, as we run around we have stutters, but on this one they're way more noticeable. Happens more often than in the original. At least for what I'm seeing so far. In my opinion, it's not a huge deal, because we're not fighting and running at the same time. When we're fighting, it's usually okay. I am noticing though that with the low geometry thing, some of the characters are a little bit blocky when look at a couple meters away.
Really, guys?
That would be the main issue. So could you do 60s on this one? Yeah, you can, but I think it's a big sacrifice to resolution and quality, so let's get into the 40 FPS mode. For our 40 FPS target, same resolution, medium settings, although I think we can do high just fine. Okay, high is a little bit too much, maybe. Yeah, we're dropping below 40. Oh, let's re-enable medium settings. Yeah, put these two on medium, that should help you. So visually better than the 60 FPS mode that we used, because quality FSR 2.1. And what to say, feels more stable. Especially when it comes to... well, it's clipping through the ground for some reason. Especially when it comes to traversal of the city. Like in the previous game, with the 40 FPS cap, we make the GPU and CPU do less work. So that means less stutter when we're traversing around the city. If you don't care about that, just play at 60. But with this configuration, we get a higher resolution, so less blur on the edges. Plus, we get slightly better shadows and draw distance, which, at least for me, the draw distance is noticeable due to the character models. The character models sometimes are of a very low quality when playing on low geometry. But otherwise, it's completely fine. The game still looks pretty good. If you want to play at native resolution, you can also do that, but it will drop below 40 way more often. So in my opinion, that's not worth it. On the smaller screen, it's really hard to tell sometimes. I mean, you obviously can tell it's FSR, but it's not like it looks like an N64 game when you're playing with FSR or a pixelated mess. This game actually does it pretty well, at least in my opinion. I mean, even when there's lots of effects on screen. But the CPU and GPU sometimes, the CPU especially when traversing, hits close to 100%. So yeah, those are the Judgement games. As you can see, Dragon Engine games like the newest Yakuza stuff, which I also tested on the Steam Deck. You can find those in the pinned comment. I tried every single Yakuza game on PC, and they work pretty well on Steam Deck. So check the pinned comment below if you want to check that out. It's been a while since I did it, and I promise the Judgement franchise as well, so here it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to play Judgement, the Steam Deck is great, so play both of those and have fun. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.